Hey, what's up? Hey, let's go over some label reading. And there's so many labels out there. So I just, as I was walking through, pick some stuff and snap photos, and we'll go through it. So this one, right? If you look, it's like red wine and olive oil. So that sounds good. But on this one, when I flipped it over, water's good, olive oil, and then soybean oil. So it's like, oh, darn it, right? So anytime for me, if I see soybean oil or corn oil or canola oil, so any grain or legume oil, it's just out, right? Right. It's not an option for me. So that's a pretty easy one. If you see that, don't eat it. So you want a salad dressing where the only oil you see is the extra virgin olive oil. All right. So that's just really something really simple to look at. This kind of stuff we'll get into in a second with this. So it's like, all right, here we go. We got made with real cheese, no artificial flavors, synthetic colors. Try to make it sound good, extra cheesy, homegrown, whole grain, big whole grain label right there. So let's look at the ingredients. Well, first let's look at this. So a lot of people look at sugars. Okay, so sugars is there, but carbs. All these carbs is sugars bound together. So when you combine sugars, they turn into carbs, right? And then as soon as you eat these carbs, your body just digests it. All digestion means is breaking it down into its individual parts. So it just breaks this down into sugar. So really, that's it. You're just basically spoons full of sugar, okay? So, and then fiber, this is, in grains, it's not the really good fiber they get in fruits and vegetables, okay? Because fiber is a carb too. So you're getting a whole bunch, and you get, what's this serving? About 1 cup, which isn't really that big. A cup's not too big. And so this is just for that reason, I wouldn't get it. But then, remember it said whole grain. So you look and you got organic pasta, yada, yada, yada. Whole grain wheat flour, cheddar, Monterey Jack cheese, pasteurized milk, corn starch, which is just corn sugar, non-fat milk, whey, salt, ricotta cheese, yada, yada, yada. I mean, for me, it's really, really simple. I avoid grains like wheat, flour. I just don't eat it. And here's the other thing too. I mean, if you look closely, see how on the front it said, where are we at? Whole grain, okay? So stuff is listed most to least. So you get organic wheat flour and then whole grains. So you get a whole bunch of refined and then you add some whole grains so you can say whole grain on the front. But make it really easy. I just don't eat anything with wheat today. Simple. So I'd pass that up for sure. Prego, spaghetti sauce. Italian spaghetti sauce. So if you look at the ingredients, right, you got tomato paste, diced tomatoes, and then sugar. So you got sugar added in, and then you got canola oil. Always avoid grain oil. So canola is from rapeseed. Avoid that. So you got that, and then yeast extracts for MSG. But for that alone, I would avoid it because I don't eat canola oil. The other thing that makes that I always like to avoid is the ingredients from sugar and canola in this product are from genetically modified crops. So I don't want to get, the whole GMO debate because, not all of it might not all be bad. But here's what I would avoid is canola, corn, soybeans, some alfalfa, and soon wheat. It's Roundup ready. So Roundup kills everything it touches, minus the handful of plants that it's been genetically modified to be resistant to it, canola being one of them. So anything with canola, I won't buy it. Really simple. That's how I would look at that. Almond butter. You see almond butter, you flip it over. Almonds plus palm oil. So you add extra oils and fats to it. That's a no for me. I would, like at the food co-op, there's almonds, and I just grind almonds into a container. So it's just the only ingredient you should see is almonds. What do we got here? All right, this is a good one because I was like, gluten-free. That must be good because there's no gluten in it. But 43 grams of sugar. Carbs, again, this pasta, I mean, literally, it's really quick. This is just turned into sugar. So it says 0 sugar. There's no added sugar, but that's all this is. It's just carbohydrates. When you take a sugar and sugars and you combine them together, you get carbohydrates. So your body breaks this down immediately into sugar. I mean, this is like literally, might not be gluten in it, but it's like eating spoonfuls of sugar. So again, I don't eat grain-based, I just don't eat it, wheat or any of that stuff. Bread, this one kind of interests me. So I just grabbed the first loaf of bread that was, I don't know, closest to my hand, and flipped it over. And again, what is it, one slice is just 17 grams of carbs, which is just sugar. Now, I have to explain. So there's carbs, like fruits and vegetables have carbs too, but the fruits and vegetables are going to have water soluble fiber, which is much better, plus a whole lot of vitamins and minerals. It's just much, much different. And when you buy fruits and vegetables, there's no label, right? You really can't go wrong when there's no label. But I think I took a better picture. Yeah, so we get the flour, enriched flour. So what enriched means is they add synthetic vitamins to it, like a cheap multi. This stuff's bad news, right? If you eat fruits and vegetables and meats and eggs and nuts, the stuff I recommend, it's not enriched because it just has naturally occurring fruits and vitamins and minerals in it. And then you get going, reduced iron, folic acid, synthetic. But then whole wheat, and then high fructose corn syrup. So what the heck? What do you got to add more sugar to the wheat, which is pure sugar already? And then you keep going and you get soybean oil. Again, so here's the thing. Like one of the big problems with obesity and weight gain is this combination of these bad oils with these sugars, right? Like you would never get that if you're out in nature and you just pick fruits or hunt or whatever. You don't get this combination. And it's this combination. It's crazy how bad it is for people. But again, for me, it's just so easy. I don't buy grains. It's really easy. So none of this, the grain stuff would even be an option in my cart. This, I believe, what does this look like? I think I forgot. Oh, it looks like some type of cereal. I forgot to take a picture of the front of it. But if you're going through again, so total fat, yada, yada, 32 grams of sugar, right? So this is 11 grams of added sugar. So you get a whole bunch of grains from oats. And one of my mentors, who's like Dr. Devaney, or not doctor, is he a doctor? I think so. Devaney in his 80s with muscles and jacked and whatever. He says it best. Oats are for horses, so avoid that. But you got organic oats, which again, just grain. Then you add sugar to it, and organic rice is just sugar. Then you add honey, which is sugar, and then some sea salt and whatever. So like cereal, starting your day off with cereal, what are you getting? You're getting a whole bunch of sugar. So again, these carbs is very, very quick digestive process, and it just turns into sugar. Get a little bit of protein in there, and but it's low fat. So this is probably something the government would say is good for you. But when you start your day with high carb, high sugar, low fat, low protein, in about an hour you're starving, and you're starving for that crap in your break room. That's always there. So I wouldn't eat that personally. Yeah, so we got oats. Yeah, I would just avoid this. Boom, there's my kid's lunch right there. So let's look at the label. Banana, no label needed. So turkey, this turkey is just a turkey breast from a raised turkey. They cook it and slice the meat off. Okay, that's how you want your meat to be. It's just a well-raised animal cooked and the meat sliced off. You don't want a whole bunch of junk added to it, mashed into a ball, and then given to you that way. Berries and then pickled beets, right? One thing too, sometimes with pickled beets, you'll see on the can that there's some sugar added, but as part of the pickling process is why I assume it's in there. But I'm gonna, most of it, or pretty much all of it's gonna be in the juice you dump off. But I promise you, no one's unhealthy because of eating too many pickled beets. So that's a really good school lunch there. Doesn't that look nice? Just imagine for every kid had this for lunch, and you can do this every single day. Whole bunch of protein, you got good water soluble fiber, good probiotics, and this is just good stuff right here. I would love to add nuts to this, but at his school, nuts aren't allowed. That's why you don't see nuts in there. Oh, look at this. So this was in a refrigerator, or in a freezer actually, of a cabinet. It was at in Canada recently, but I had to snap a picture because that looks really good, yeah? And then you flip it over and you get beef, which I guarantee the beef isn't very healthy raised. Actually, this reminds me of going back to that pasta with the meat in it. I guarantee you that the meat in that pasta sauce, the Prego pasta sauce, is just the conventional raised disgusting meat that I would never want to eat. But here you got beef, which is conventionally raised, and then they add canola oil into it. It's like, well, why? You got to add these nasty oils to nasty beef already, and then flavor, whatever the hell that is, spice, whatever that is. And then this is what it looks like outside. Freaking disgusting. So the picture, and then what's in the box. I suppose after I cooked it, it may have looked like that, but I wasn't eating that stuff. What do we got here? Oh, birthday cake, man. This is how you do birthday cake for your kids. No label. In my opinion, there isn't a cake on the planet that tastes as good as watermelon, and he absolutely loved it. 3 years old, 3 candles in the watermelon cake, he called it, and absolutely loved it. That's how easy it is to make little hacks on switches. As far as the labels go, though, I mean, there's so many we could go over. If there's some you're interested in, just add them to the post or send them, and I'll go through them. Hopefully this helps, but I mean, the easiest thing you can do is when you go to a store, you walk in, and it's going to be fruits and veggies to start. My cart is loaded with fruits and vegetables, and then I go and get the nuts, and then there's the egg section if I don't get eggs from Eupraxia, and I keep going around the perimeter, and I get to the meats, and I get the healthy chicken, the healthy raised chicken. So you are what you eat. Yes, you're also what you ate, right? So healthy raised meats, yada, 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 get my water. Every once in a while, I have to go through and get some good olive oil or apple cider vinegar. But the overwhelming majority of stuff that I buy doesn't have a label. I mean, the overwhelming, if you come to my house, you're not going to find bread or pasta or grains. The only grains you're going to find is some organic popcorn as a snack once in a while. And I posted a video a while ago on how I make that. But I hope this helps. If you have other labels you have questions on, send them my way, and I'll go through them.